Let's junk journal about my trip to St. Lucia. I really wanted to have a map on my main page over here, so I decided to go ahead and look on Etsy, and I ended up finding a vintage downloadable PDF version of a map of St. Lucia. And so I printed out over here the Castry side. I'm going to put it over here in the top left corner, and I have the bottom right corner of the island as well. I'm going to put it over here. The maps are in. I ended up going in beforehand and pasting in some colored scrapbook paper because I was not loving how much blank and empty space there was. So now it looks very, very colorful and pretty. I'm going to also now paste in this boarding pass that I created on Canva from scratch. I love how it looks, and I only screenshot mine usually, so I don't have any on hand with me, so I want to tie this into my book. So I really want to have this postcard also be on my spread, so I'm going to use washi tape to create a flip tab. I also have a place for me to write about my vacation and my trip here. I love airplane photos, so whenever I go travel in an airplane, I always take photos of like the sunset, the sunrise, the clouds, whatever. So I want to have these included in my spread above the postcard. So I wanted to also include the conversations I have right here printed out that I have with somebody that I was staying with in St. Lucia. So I ended up actually deciding this time when I went to St. Lucia to not stay at a resort. I usually stay at one resort, like I have a favorite resort that I've always stayed at. But when I was there last time, I got electrically shocked in the hot tub. And it was pretty bad, so I decided this time to just like stay somewhere different, something new, all of that. And I ended up staying in a room in somebody's house. The only problem was that the air conditioner was broken in my room. So every single day I kept hearing like the landlord be like, I'm gonna fix it tomorrow. And so I got there on Saturday, and still on Thursday it was not fixed, and it was like 90 something degrees in the room, and I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. So I ended up moving to an Airbnb, whatever. It's funny now, then I was like, are we kidding? So I want to include the screenshots of the conversations. I ended up using white scrapbook paper as a backing, so that way it's more sturdy, and I made it front and back so I could use less paper and make it less bulky. I also punched a hole in the top so I could put this twine through it and make it into a little mini book. I went ahead and I cut an envelope down and I pasted it down to size, and that way I can just slide it in and then glue it on here. Now I'm going to glue in this wrapper. I always get fresh local honey whenever I go there from one of my friends, and so I always end up throwing these out because I never have a use for it, but now I do. So I'm going to put this in here and also include a sticker or two. So I printed out and cut out my reservation to my Airbnb. I'm going to now paste it under here, cut it out, and then glue it on to here. I ended up printing out a whole bunch of photos from the Airbnb website, so I'm going to cut it out, paste it onto white scrapbook paper, make it double-sided, and create a book just like this one, but instead I'll have it glued in.